Hi everyone, so I've got a slightly unusual colour mix today, but my lady wanted something a bit darker, so we went away from the spring colours and I've used Crystal Chameleon Flakes and Chameleon Flakes today, and some butterflies and striping tape. So this is from a redesign of the lilac and pink pearly set I did recently. So I've filed down to a very thin base, prepped as usual, and then popped clear acrylic just as a very thin base on all of these nails. And I'm coming in here using the Crystal Chameleon Flakes in Fire Opal, using a tiny bit of clear acrylic to pick them up, and placing in a strip down the centre of the nail. And then using my wet brush to pick up 3 butterflies, one in bronze, one in garnet, and one in chocolate. And just placing them along that strip. Then I'm going to use a little bit of clear acrylic just to pop on them, not trying to add any bulk or anything, just because I want to let them to kind of set in place a bit so that when I cap it's going to stay where I want it. And then I'm coming in with my Chameleon Flakes in Helena, using a little bit of clear acrylic to pick them up, place them on the nail, and then using the tip of my brush just to kind of nudge them around to do a full nail with these. And when I'm happy that's all covered, I'm just leaving that to set. And then I'm coming back to the strip and I'm getting a bead of clear acrylic, taking a bit of liquid out of the back of the bead, and then creating the strip down the centre of that nail. So I'm going to build up structure at this point, but just along that central strip, patting that down into place and using the tip of my brush to create a nice wall along the sides there. I will file these as well, but I'm just going to do as much as I can with my brush, so the filing is just refining rather than lots of work to be done. And then capping that other nail in crystal glass, and this is all CJP acrylic. Building up that structure, doing as much as I can with my brush, so that again when I file it's just refining it. And I wanted to do the video so that you can see the difference between the crystal and the normal Chameleon Flakes, because over black they can look quite similar. And then I'm coming in with black magic, starting at the tip and then just blending up. And then on this now I'm going to use a little bead of clear acrylic to then pick up the Crystal Chameleon Flakes in Fire Opal, and then starting at the cuticle area and pulling down. And then I'm going to do the same on the index finger, but instead of the crystal I'm going to use the normal Chameleon Flakes in Helena. Placing a little at the cuticle area and then pulling down with my brush. These are so easy to work with acrylic. And then capping the entire nail in crystal glass. That's where I then create that structure and strength in the nail. And doing the same again with that index finger, so capping the entire nail in crystal glass. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of kitchen towel and put that underneath this nail, because I'm just going to use my file to just file the edge of that strip just to make sure it's nice and crisp. I put the kitchen towel down, so obviously I'm not getting dust in my acrylics and my glitters and stuff. I don't want to have to put them all away because I've got the other hand to do yet. And then just dusting that off, and then putting that kitchen towel aside, and then I'm just going to use Black Magic to fill in the sides. So obviously when you do this, you want to make sure that the colour powder you use on the sides is a strength powder, because you're not going to be capping it. And once I finished that, I filed them all. Sorry, I lost that video. So we've gone straight onto the decorating. So I'm using holographic striping tape. Just cutting off some small strips. And I try not to touch it. Always use a tool, starting at the top, keep pressing it nice and flat. Obviously the more you touch things like this, the more chance you have they'll not stick, because you don't want to get like grease and dust on them. So I always use my tweezers and then just press them into place. And the trick with striping tape is that you want to cut them just about 1 millimetre shorter than the edge of the nail. And then you want to give it a little buff. And then I'm going to come in and top coat, and I'm going to make sure I double top coat the one with the striping tape. So whenever you add anything onto a nail art, striping tape, water decals, you always want to double top coat to make sure they're fully sealed and encapsulated. And with the top coat on, you can really then see the difference between the Crystal Chameleon and the regular Chameleon Flakes. So that's 30 seconds LED for my part cure, and then popping on the second coat, and then that will go in for 60 seconds LED. And then doing the thumbnail, which is a full nail of Crystal Chameleon. And then once that's all had a chance to cool down, just popping on a bit of cuticle oil and massaging that in. And there you go, guys. So if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to pop them below, and any requests, pop that below too. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.